And of course, right away, trouble with the teleprompter.
In the years ahead, it'll help to be, it's going to be up to the presidency. We need to get dark money. That's that hidden funding behind too many campaigns contributions.
Says the guy who just gave a medal to George Soros last week.
We need to get it out of our politics. We need to enact an 18-year time limit, time and term, for the strongest ethics and the strongest ethics reforms for our Supreme Court. Stop moving what's this thing called? Teleprompter. 18-year time limit, term limit, time and term, for the strongest ethics and the strongest ethics reforms. And of course to Kamala and our incredible partner, the historic Vice President.
Her incredible partner, the historic Vice President. What?
That democracy must defend and be defined and be imposed, moved. We need to ban members of Congress from trading stock while they're in the Congress. We need to amend the Constitution to make clear that no president is immune from crimes that he or she commits while in office. Our amazing First Lady was with me in the Oval today. For our entire family. You're the love of my life and the lives of my love. My eternal thanks to you, the American people. After 50 years of public service, I give you my word. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands. A nation where the strength of our institutions and the character of our people matter and must endure. Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America. You love it too. God bless you all. May God protect our troops. Thank you for this great honor.
Goodbye, the lives of my love. What is happening?
And of course, right away,
just gets worse every time, every moment. Oh my God, 3 days, folks, 3 more days, and it's good riddance. Whew, thank God, I cannot wait. So, anyways, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to tonight's Ace Report. Glad to have you. So glad to have you. Got a lot of fun stuff to cover tonight. We're gonna quick hit it. Got a lot of little things here and there I want to go through, but first, want to say please like, share, subscribe, join the greatest community on YouTube, the most educated community on YouTube. There, I said it. It's true. Once you get in the chat, you know it to be true. Let's say hey to everybody. Hobbs, numero uno tonight. What's up, buddy? Big B, Cassink, Kimberly P. What's going on? Troy Man, Vince Feliz, Vin Man, Just Mike, Pat Shigoya, Alan Krantz, FJ Biden. Is that your January 20th speech? Easy Studs Rag, Toe Cramp, Candace Morrison, Stephen Cromer, Michael Quintero. What is going on? Kathy, Steve Bernard, Jack Hamilton. All right. Just got caught up. Well done, sir. Kilv, Alan Krantz. So now what? Kim Wiley, Richie Rich, twiddling your thumbs. Sorry, it's late tonight, family night. Plus, well, I got some crazy stuff to share with you guys. Cindy Lou Who, Donkey, what's going on? The One, what to do? Joe Scarpazza, Michael Tucker, it's the place. Richie Rich says, I think we'll never hear from him again after the 20th. Needs to go take a long nap. The long goodbye. That's right. Eric B, is it Monday yet? Not quite, my friend. Max, China hospitals overrun with new virus. Stock alerts called out. Interesting. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. I saw the FBI close up their DEI department. That was announced today, but it happened back in December, so that's fun. Ever Trumper, what's going on? Well, guys, before I get started here, because there's plenty to go through, today has been crazy for me, and let me share why. So this morning, I found out one of the craziest things that's honestly, as an opportunity, has ever opened up for me. Somebody got me a ticket, well, a guest pass, I should say, to go to the Commander-in-Chief ball on Inauguration Day that night, where Trump will be with military people and all kinds of other people, and I'm floored. I'm absolutely floored. So I have been working today, running around, figuring out my Sunday, Monday, what it's going to look like my Tuesdays, and had to make arrangements, everything, because I'm going to be at the inauguration, and then afterwards I will be that night at the Commander-in-Chief ball in Washington, D.C. with, I don't even know who. It's insane. I had to get a tux today. I don't even know if it fits yet. I've got to figure this all out on Saturday. But anyways, it is wild. So I had to move stuff around, as you can imagine. It was one of those deals where it's like, you know what? Unexpected expense, not prepared for it, but you know what? I'm going to figure it out, because this is something that if I don't make happen, I will regret it the rest of my life. So you better believe from there, I will be saying hey to you guys. Probably won't be running a live stream, but I'll probably give you guys a live stream Sunday night from my hotel room, and then, you know, maybe do some quick little things here and there. I will definitely send videos out and lots of pictures, but I can't believe it. Honestly, it's just one of the greatest honors. It's unbelievable. It's just crazy that this is even possible. And so I'm so honored. I'm not going to say who set it up, but you probably watch this video later, and you know who you are, and thank you so much. It's just one of those things that it's unbelievable. So, anyways, just so crazy. So yeah, talk about one of those things that just comes out of nowhere, and you just don't. Well, I wear the Niners hat. Probably not. I'm going to be in a tux. Can you believe it? I'm going to be in a tux. So no, I'm not going as press. I'm going as a guest, and so I'll just be in the crowd, enjoying the music. Watch Trump. Trump's going to give a speech. He'll be there. I don't know if he shakes hands or anything like that. I mean, I'm sure he will a little bit, but it's not going to be with everybody. There's going to be a couple thousand people there. But it's going to be live music. He's supposed to dance with Melania. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be crazy. So, and I can't believe I'm going to be there. It's one of those things where it's like, I still don't believe it's real, but it's, you know, it is, and I'm going to be there. Anyways, it's not, no, unfortunately my wife cannot go. She's, for one thing, it was only one slot open. So, it's kind of a miracle how it came together, but yeah, I mean, I probably won't meet Trump, Stephen, but if I do, well, you know, that'll be unbelievable. So, anyways, guys, big things. I'm honestly, this is one of those once in a lifetime things that you just cannot believe is possible. So, yeah, so that's my big announcement. Listen, this show is what makes it possible. This amazing community. You guys are just telling you, this is just one example. It's the biggest example, but I just want to say to all you guys in general, like doing this, making this happen, this community, it's life changing, and you guys have changed my life, and just meeting you guys and the opportunities are opening up, and I just yeah, I'm very humbled, and it's one of those things you just cannot believe is real, and I probably won't believe it's real until months afterwards. So, anyways, but yeah, so I'll be at the inauguration in DC. It's supposed to be 23 degrees that day, so I'm gonna be bundled up, but I'm gonna be away with my, you know, live stream in the inauguration at least a little bit, but in the actual ball, I don't know how much phones are allowed or anything. I don't know what the rules are, so I'm going to be very careful and just enjoy being a guest as well. But I'll be sure to share what I can. So, Butter said, "Don, you know where I do this podcast?" Yeah, I'm sure he cares. But you know, if I could get in Barron's ear, Barron's the podcaster guy. If Barron will tell his dad, so Brian Gell says F. So, anyways, guys, pretty crazy. Oh, Pam Bondi is. We talked about that the other night. It's a bow tie event. Yeah, tux. So I got my bow tie. I got my tux. I'm ready to go. And so, anyways, unbelievable times. So, speaking of how unbelievable it is, guys, we're 3 days away from this. Look at these shots, man. Are these not like some of the coolest presidential pictures ever for their portraits? Trump is just, he took the mugshot and turned it into this for his presidential portrait. Unbelievable, just the best. JD Vance looks good too, but this is awesome. Oh yeah, I'll be doing a live from the ceremony for sure. I'm like a modern Rush Limbaugh. I don't know if there's no modern Rush Limbaugh, but I learned from Rush. I can say that. I was a Rush baby. Does that mean the Democrats will be having player haters ball across town? Probably. Yeah, I'll definitely go live from the inauguration itself. So anyways, these portraits, pretty dope. 3 days, guys. 3 days, it's official. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, I should say on the 4th day. So 4 days, it's official. 3 more days of no Trump in our life. Well, as president, but it's coming. Okay, I wanted to talk about this tonight because this is just one of the coolest things ever. And what's better than getting William Wallace, Rocky, Rambo, and Jon Voight? I can't think of a famous character Jon Voight's been. I've seen him in so many movies, but he hasn't been like that iconic character with a name. But he picked the men. He went back in time, got the real men of Hollywood, and he's created a task force with them. This is awesome, especially as somebody who grew up in California, actually wanted to make movies growing up, used to make a lot of movies with my friends, videotape and editing, everything. I was going to go to Hollywood. I wanted to be a screenwriter and director. Didn't work out for me, obviously. I ended up not going that route, but still, became a film critic, all that. I've always loved film. Just have. And this is like, are you kidding me? These are some of the best ever. Stallone, Gibson, those are two of my favorites. I like Voight too, but I like him more as a person than an actor. But Gibson and Stallone are just, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, I mean, come on. Who was better? It's like these two guys, you got Lethal Weapon, Mad Max, Braveheart. Freaking Gibson was the man. Tango and Cash. That was actually Stallone, sorry. I was thinking of Tequila Sunrise. Gibson was awesome. Freaking everywhere, everything he did, you just had to see it. Stallone, listen, I'm going to say it. I'm going to settle the debate right now. Stallone is better than Schwarzenegger. I said it. I said, I'm sorry. Well, you tell me that little girly man, that little peepsqueak that plays a boxer is better than these guns. Yeah, Arnold, I'm sorry. Stallone's better. I love you, but Stallone's the man. There's nothing better than going back through Rocky, which I've probably done 100 times, watching First Blood, Cliffhanger. Are you kidding me? The man he's the best. He's just awesome. So Trump partners with these guys, and yeah, obviously Voight, Deliverance, and Heat, just so many great movies. But he's partnered with the men, and he's built a task force. I love this. Special ambassadors to a great but very troubled place, Hollywood, California. They will serve as special envoys to me for the purpose of bringing Hollywood, which has lost much business over the last 4 years to foreign countries, back bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. These 3 very talented people will be my eyes and ears, and I will get done what they suggest. It will again be like the United States of America itself, the golden age of Hollywood. I love this. And this is actually very interesting as well. Okay? Very interesting as well. How he writes this. Trump always is, he never tells us everything, but he always tells us a lot. Excuse me. This right here is the most important part. These 3 very talented people will be my eyes and ears, and I will get done what they suggest. Now, I'm here to tell you, he's not just talking about movies get made. I'm sure that's part of it. Get the woke out of Hollywood. Start making. I know I corrected myself, Hobbs. Start making myself or making movies better again. Let's get more of the Top Gun Maverick types, modern movies. Well, let's have more of that instead of all this other nonsense out there. But that's not the main thing, and let's look at it. All right, here's Stallone. Trump just named Voight, Gibson, and Stallone as special ambassadors to Hollywood a week ago. An action movie written by Stallone dropped their trailer. It's about human trafficking, run by corrupt government officials and the mob. Stallone's latest project. You guys know the last Rambo movie was also about trafficking? Interesting. They're going to Hollywood, be my eyes and ears, and I will get done what they tell me. Do you think Trump is looking to clean up some stuff? I think so. Looks like Trump's expanding his influence to Hollywood. I expect the left to vehemently oppose this movie like they did with Sound of Freedom. And I'm not going to play the trailer because it's called The Working Man, but it's got Statham in it.
This isn't just some kidnapping. This is human trafficking.
So that's interesting, right? I mean, we all know what we've heard. Is Trump actually finally going to clean all that up there too? I think that's part of what the eyes and ears are. And guess what? If you take care of that, you'll also take care of the wokeness, because that'll clear out all those nasty producers, the Weinstein types. It'll just clean them out. And so this is one of those things where Trump, it makes an announcement that looks big in one way, but all the left is going to miss it. They're all going to be like, oh, Trump's going to affect the movies in Hollywood. Well, he is, but it's because he's going to clean up what really needs to be cleaned up in Hollywood. And in case you don't forget, it's interesting, right? So that's Stallone's latest movie, trafficking, Rambo, trafficking. And then here's when Gibson got in trouble back in the day. I'm going to play a little of this clip for you guys.
Drenched in the blood of innocent children, according to Mel Gibson, who claims the consumption of baby blood is so popular in Hollywood that it basically operates as a currency of its own. Hollywood elites are an enemy of mankind, continually acting contrary to our best interests, and breaking every God-given taboo known to man, including the sanctity of children, Mel Gibson said in London, where he is promoting his role in Daddy's Home 2, his most prominent on-screen role in years. It's an open secret in Hollywood. These people have their own religious and spiritual teachings and their own social and moral frameworks. They have their sacred texts. They are sick, believe me, and they couldn't be more at odds with what America stands for. Mel Gibson appeared on the Graham Norton Show on the BBC on Friday, and he schooled shocked guests about the real nature of Hollywood elites in the green room backstage after his appearance. Explaining that he spent the last 10 years working on my own ideas outside of the Hollywood system, after being blacklisted by Hollywood in 2006 for sharing opinions about the industry and the world that run counter to liberal orthodoxy, Gibson said, "I don't know how to break it to you gently. Hollywood is institutionalized pedophilia. They are using and abusing kids. They churn through a huge amount of kids every year. Their spiritual beliefs, if you can call them that, direct them to harvest the energy of kids. They feast on this."
All right, I'm not going too far on that because I don't want to get in trouble here on YouTube. But you guys, there's a reason he picked these three guys, okay? Voight hasn't been as outspoken in the way Gibson has, or showing us with like the way Stallone has in a way. But Voight has long been one of the strongest conservatives in all of Hollywood. And guess what? His daughter, Angelina Jolie, he lost her to the system. Jolie went nuts. I don't know if you remember in the early 2000s, her and Billy Bob wearing blood around their necks, each other blood, just going crazy. He lost Angelina Jolie to the system. He knows the darkness there as well. So it's very interesting that Trump picked those three men. And it just tells you that this is not, Trump's presidency is not just about all the surface level stuff that needs to get fixed that they like to talk about in the news. It's about bringing the real justice to our land, the rot, and taking care of the rot and the darkness that's hidden from so many. And this Hollywood thing, this proves it. It is no coincidence that he chose these three guys to be his eyes and ears and get done what they suggest. And I guarantee you, their suggestions aren't going to be, hey, Donald, I think you need to give more tax breaks to MGM. No, it's going to be, hey, Donald, I have some stuff to share with you. This is what I know from what this guy's experienced. These are what the things I've seen. So it's going to get interesting real fast in ways that most people never would have thought, just to be honest with you. So get ready. Ever Trumper says Mel Gibson stated in multiple interviews, Hollywood's central hub of evil. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hopefully Kamal won't be at the inaugural ball. She'll drink that place dry. That's true. Eyes and Ears Diddy List. That's right. Yeah, Toe Cramp. Statham movies are great. James, listen, I'm sure that this is going to grow into something bigger. I'm sure it will. I think this is just the beginning. I would not be surprised if we eventually see, like you just said, James Woods. There will be others that join. There will be others who come together on this. It's going to be once it becomes okay to be outspoken about this because of being in power. Right now, it used to be you were surprised by, like, back, if you go way back, so 80s, 90s, 70s, it was almost surprising the actors who were total messes and hardcore idiot liberals. Like, they were liberal, but they weren't, psychos. Now it's the opposite. Now it's crazy to find out which ones are conservatives. I think it's going to be surprising some of the people who come out of the woodwork. That's what I think about to expose stuff. I really do. Max says, they tried burning down Hollywood so AMC would bankrupt. Adam Aaron was out there starting those fires. How many good movies was there in the last year, says Vince? Deadpool and Wolverine was funny. I'll give it that. I will tell you that this last year of movies was the worst year of movies I could remember in a long time. And honestly, one of the reasons, though, is that because the last year they had the strikes in Hollywood, so it put back everything. So, there's still good movies that come out of Hollywood. Don't get me wrong. There's still movies I like. I liked the new Mad Max movie, Furiosa. I liked the movie Fall Guy. That was funny. There was still some fun movies. But the best movies that came out this year were kids' movies. Inside Out 2 was phenomenal. The Wild Robot was really good. So there was still some good movies. I took my kids to see Sonic 3. That was fun. There were still good movies, but it definitely was a really, really rough year. So there's that. But Trump is the real hope. He brings with him the hope and change, that's for sure. And Denzel, Denzel is an interesting one. I really believe Denzel's a good dude, but every once in a while I hear something weird, and so I just hope he's a good dude. Let me put it that way. So, Hollywood, it's coming for you. These fires, I believe, they were obviously arson, obviously invigorated by the fact that they did not take care of their city to prepare for what could happen. Maybe purposefully, maybe stupidly. I think purposefully, but that doesn't matter. What I think, whether or not it definitely would happen because of human. But I also think it's a sign that it's time to purge California and get California back. You know what fire is? Fire is a really interesting thing. When you're in California, you really get to learn a lot about forest fires. You know that forest fires in general are a very good thing for nature. A very good thing, because they go through the forest, they burn up all the junk. They burn up everything that shouldn't be there. And then there's especially in California, I don't know if it's every forest, but in California when there's a forest fire, the fire is what opens up the seeds in the pine cones. So without fire, those pine cones don't release seeds. And so the fire is the way that the forest is cleansed. It's all part of God's design in the forest. So the forest fires are a good thing. The problem is people built around them, and they, to this day, have not protected the cities. They actually did a much better job back in the day, before the whole environmental movement got in the way. But fires are part of the natural cycle. Because it's like, good luck stopping lightning that strikes and starts a fire. You just can't do it. So it's part of that. It's a good thing. And so when you look at it from like a prophetic standpoint, fire symbolizes a cleansing. It symbolizes a burning down and a rebirth. And so, and I think, this Trump announcing this just a week after the forest fire started, and all this is going on in Southern California, some things are changing, and I think California is going to be dealt with, and it's actually going to be much better place again, like it used to be. Probably would never be full on Texas red state, but we might get back to 1990s California or 1980s California, which, by the way, California voted for Reagan, just so you know. We had Pete Wilson as a governor in the 90s, Republican governor. So it's possible we could get that back, and that would be a wonderful, wonderful thing. Big B says no such thing as coincidence. Fires were planned. I agree with you. Yeah. Rum Dog, I thought Gibson and Wahlberg starting a movie studio out near Vegas. I don't know. I haven't heard about that. What was the question, Alan? Thank you, Toe Cramp. I appreciate you saying that. All right, let's keep moving. All right, so away from the Hollywood stuff now, we still have hearings going on. Scott Bessent is Treasury Secretary. I listened to a lot of the hearing today. By the way, now that Pam Bondi's done and Hegseth's done, the hearings are much more boring. They are not nearly as entertaining going forward as they were, and they'll get entertaining again when it was Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, and Kash Patel. Those will be fire to listen to. But that doesn't mean some good stuff isn't coming out of these. Scott Bessent today said one of the best explanations on tariffs I've ever heard, and he just broke it down so simply, because there's all this nonsense out there that the tariffs are going to cause inflation, but that's absolute nonsense. And they kept grilling him on it because he's going to be Treasury Secretary. And Bessent said this: tariffs can't be inflationary because if the price of one thing goes up, unless you give people more money, they have less money to spend on other things, so there's no net inflation. Inflation comes through either increasing the money supply or increasing government spending, and that's what happened under Biden. It's exactly right. He's exactly right. Inflation doesn't happen when the money supply, unless the money supply is added to. Now, some goods will go up, but when you get higher wages, okay, which means the rich are spending more, when you get everything else going down, all the stuff that matters, three things matter the most to an American family to survive in this life, okay? You need food, housing, and gas. All three of those things should go down substantially under Trump because they just need common sense policies to change completely and to go back down. Him unleashing energy, him getting the illegal immigrants out, all of that will lead to lower costs over the next few years in the areas that matter. Then you get more money to spend. It's not inflation. Some stuff will be more expensive because it'll be made in America now, or it'll be tariffed, but that's not inflation. That is just some goods that go up. You know what? Right now, the other day I was in Walmart, and I'm walking through the electronics aisle, and they have 75-inch screen TVs, nice TVs, Samsung, for like $400. That is cheap. The base level 75-inch LCD screen from Samsung even 2-3 years ago, you were looking at a budget one was probably $900. So all that stuff, because they're making it overseas, is getting so much cheaper. Well, guess what? You can't even buy the $400 TV that's cheaper if your grocery bill, because you're buying a 100 smaller things that all add up. If every part of your grocery bill is 30% more, well, you need that money. You can save up. And so if the TV goes back up to $600, $700 because of tariffs, but food goes back down, that money right there, you're much happier because you can eat as you want. And then you can put aside that money and buy the TV in 3 months instead of buying it right now. That doesn't matter. That's not what Americans care about. And so that's how it's going to work. And we should all be okay with that because it's going to be better for everybody involved. Gas will go down because of inflation, which will cause energy prices go down, which means utility prices will go down. He's going to unleash natural gas, so that would cause heating to go down. Electricity will go down because a lot of it's powered by gas, like it or not. That's how it is. It's just going to keep going. Okay, that's going to be the impact on all this. Housing will go down, yada yada yada. It's just that all works out, and so you have more money to spend. You can be smart with that money, and the stuff you don't need but you want, yes, that might be a little more expensive, but we'll just be like we used to do. We'll actually save and go spend. I mean, that's how it should work. But meanwhile, you'll love life so much more because you won't be freaking out week to week. And I gotta say, I think everybody would take that trade-off. So Bessent out there just laying it down. It was nice to have somebody who actually understood economics, because no Democrat understands economics unless they are completely corrupt on purpose. Okay, so if you're a Democrat and you believe in like the socialist utopia, if you believe in Keynesian economics, you're a freaking moron, or you're just evil. There's no in between because these economics do not work. And everybody knows it by now. We've had so long to study it. It just does not work. Prime example, Bernie Sanders. This guy is an absolute moron. And I actually think he's a moron because I think he's a true believer in this stuff. So I truly, and he's been corrupted as well. But Bernie, one of the reason people loved him on the left is because he has some genuineness to him. He's a genuine loser. He's a genuine, lived off the government my whole life and think everybody else should too. Grade A loser moron. And it's authentic. So that's why they liked him, because they're used to Hillary and Obama, who aren't stupid, but are evil and want to destroy them. So that's, so when they get somebody like Bernie, they're like, hey, at least he believes what we believe. So all the morons rejoice. Bernie, well, here, let's play this clip with Bernie and Scott Bessent because it's pretty telling. By the way, Todd Earhart, member for 10 months. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate the support. He says, keep up the good work. Ace, proud ace hole. I love it. Join the ace holes, my friend. $3 a month for 4 extra lives minimum and the Discord chat. That is the best deal on YouTube. That is the best deal on YouTube. How is not everybody a member? What are you guys doing? What are you thinking? All right, let's watch this.
When you have a small number of multi-billionaires who have enormous economic, media, and political power, would you agree with President Biden, who last night stated, and I quote, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights, and freedoms, end of quote. That's what President Biden said last night. I agree with him. Do you?
Senator Sanders, I enjoyed our visit.
Talk a little bit closer into the mic.
I enjoyed our visit, and I hope you got my follow-up materials on the discussions, my previous writings on the tariffs and China. And look, the 3 billionaires who you listed that all made the money themselves. Mr. Musk came to the country.
Real quick, great point. The Bernie Sanders people and Bernie, they demonize the rich so much, and yet so many of the wealthy people made their money by ingenuity, hard work, just getting ahead of the curve. I mean, everybody has a little help along the way. Nobody's a self-made man. And if they tell you that, they're lying. But, so there's always fortune and stuff that falls into this. But most rich people, most, not all, most rich people just got there on their own. And it's so, Bessent is very much articulating the fact they got there. What do you want to punish them for? We should be celebrating Americans who make their wealth. But that's not who Bernie is. And so, anyways, continue.
Country as an immigrant.
I understand that, but what I'm asking you is, when you have a handful of people like Musk, who will soon be part of the Trump administration, and others, when you have 3 people owning more wealth than the bottom half of American society, when these people have enormous influence over the media, when they spend huge amounts of money in both political parties to elect candidates, what Biden said last night is we're moving toward an oligarchy. I'm asking you that question. Do you think, forget how they made their money, do you think that when so few people have...
But Bernie, if you're calling them, if you're saying we're an oligarchy just because we have super wealthy people, and don't get me wrong, there is a wealth problem in our nation that's too much of it is being congested at the top, but that's because of your freaking moronic policies and the Democrats. You guys have created ways where only the rich can survive in this economy and thrive. And so, but you know, nobody wants to hear that because it doesn't get voters. But this, but the part where he says, regardless of how they make it, is this an oligarchy? No, how they made it matters. And that's what these people don't understand. The oligarchy is just people who cheated to make it to the top or inherited it in a class system, which we don't really have, because in America you lose your wealth usually in the second to third generation. It's not 10, 20, 30 generations going back that have been wealthy. So how they make it matters, but Bernie never is concerned about actual facts.
So much wealth and so much economic and political power that is an oligarchic form of society.
Well, I would note that President Biden gave the Presidential Medal of Freedom to 2 people who I think would qualify for his oligarchs.
Boom. And that is brilliant. That is the best moment of his hearing. He flat out calls out their hypocrisy. Where is the outrage when Biden's giving presidential medals of honor to George Soros, one of the most evil men who's ever lived, and Hillary Clinton, who has done nothing but milk her husband's political career, because her political career sucked. She milked her husband's political career to become rich and famous, and their corrupt tendrils reached into everything, and she almost became president because of it. That is an oligarchy.
So
this is not a condemnation of any one individual. I'm just asking you, would so few people have so much wealth?
Oh, there's not a condemnation of any one individual. Yeah, they don't like it when you call them out, when you point it out.
Wealth and power.
But
do you think that is an oligarchic form of society?
Senator, I think it depends on the ability to move up and down the income.
No, that's not really the answer. I mean, even if you had that mobility, no matter who those individuals might be.
Oh, so stupid. And he says it so perfect. An oligarchy is when that ruling class they never come down. They can't come down. And guess what? You can't get up there. That's an oligarchy. And Bessent, and this is what I loved and why I'm sharing this clip, is because it shows you Trump has again made another masterful pick. Because Bessent gets to the point. He gets to the nitty gritty. He understands what these morons are actually talking about when they don't understand it. Oh, it's an oligarchy. Hey, "Oh, you like this oligarchy?" He doesn't even know what an oligarchy is, Bernie. He just thinks it's when rich people have influence. No, an oligarchy is a class where they control everything. There is no upward movement. And Bessent said perfect. As long as there's upward movement, you can go up, you can go down. There is no oligarchy. But again, so that the hearings, he's going to be confirmed. There's nobody so far this week who anybody made a dent on. The Democrats have tried, and they are unmarked Trump's cabinet, and it's going to go forward beautifully, which is awesome. These people are, it's very impressive if you've been watching them. Yeah, Bernie's got 3 houses too. Alan says, "Why, as an Iowan, why are we listening to California telling us how to raise our livestock?" I don't know. You shouldn't. Cindy says, "Doesn't know how to join members on your iPhone." Go to your Safari browser, click on desktop mode, go to settings, go to desktop mode, go to YouTube from there, find my channel, and you have to do it that way. Vinman says, "Sanders, like so many Dems from the New York area, went straight into politics, sucked money from the government their whole lives. Savage said he would have only been a shoe salesman if not for politics." That's very true. Bernie, as far as I know, has never had a full-time job in the private economy. Never a full-time job. He worked part-time, I think, as a carpenter for a little bit, and that's it. Bernie is the consummate. He's typical. I mean, you could call him. He technically is more of an oligarch than Elon Musk. Than Bezos. He's more of an oligarch because he used the system and just stayed there, and that's what the oligarchy is. Yeah, Bernie's only a multimillionaire. That's right. Vinman, what's worse, 2 or 3 billionaires influencing Trump, or a whole bunch of Dem and Rhino millionaires colluding to get more money and power? Well, it's not just that. More billionaires supported Kamala than Trump. That's just a fact. That's a stone cold fact. More billionaires support the Democrats than Trump. Just not the cool ones. I think Vivek got put on timeout after the H-1B thing. He got put on timeout, and he'll be back. But Trump put out that he wants Vivek to be the senator from Ohio. He wants Vivek to replace J.D. Vance. So Vivek's going to be in our life for a long time. Wicked says, "Newsom, Pelosi, and Brown are the 1% been in control of California since the 60s. Where's Bernie?" Exactly. Well, because the Democrats actually, it's always projection. It's always projection. And they want to be an oligarchy. The Democrats, if they had their way, if they got everything they wanted, they would create an oligarchy and they would be ruling it. And so that's why they accuse everybody else of it. In California, you have an oligarchy in that state, and the only thing that has protected it from being full oligarchy, from being full on commie socialist country in California, is the fact they're still under the umbrella of the federal government, and that's it. Bloomberg got a Medal of Freedom too? I didn't know that. Drew Saval, can I find out how to get a ticket to that ball? Oh no, man, there's no way to get a ticket. It's just somebody has to invite you. Yeah, it's 3 more days. That's right, formally. Todd, Vivek's looking for Ohio. Yep. Donna, Vivek. Yep. Alan, Asa, I asked you your questions to your House of Representatives. I asked you your questions? I'm sorry, Alan. I don't think I understand where you're going with that. Bernie's part of the douchegarchy. I like that. Lost Boys movie? Yeah. Vampire. Okay, here's another fun clip I found. So everybody's, there's a lot of discussion about Biden. He had that horrible dark speech last night, which I started the program with, breaking it down. That's just how he can't read a teleprompter. But there's been some good arguments about Biden lately. And here's Kevin O'Leary just hitting up CNN about Biden.
How Joe Biden got rich.
Yeah, okay, so here...
How did he get rich?
But
if Joe Biden got rich...
How did he get rich? Does anybody understand how that
happened?
I actually think that, Kevin, your question about Joe Biden's legacy and how he will be seen is actually extremely important.
Kevin O'Leary. How did he get rich? Guy in the background. He wrote a book. These people are just... It's unbelievable. I mean, Biden is oligarchy. I mean, all these people who lived off the government made their money by using the system, abusing the system. That's oligarchy. And so Biden, he wrote a book. But I love Mr. Wonderful being out there calling out the nonsense. That's so I had to share that. And I don't know if you guys saw any more of that speech from last night, but here's Biden telling, asking social media to keep censoring people like myself.
Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies, told for power and for profit. We must hold the social platforms accountable to protect our children, our families, and our very democracy from the abuse of power. Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies, told for power and
it's enough to make you sick if we didn't know he was leaving and can't come back. I'll tell you, there's definitely a messaging thing going on with the Democrats this last week and a half before Trump comes in, and it's trying to put back all their stuff. Biden also spent a lot of time in his speech talking about oligarchy and the rich running this country and all that stuff, and they're just trying to play the same playbook that we defeated, and it'll never come back unless we do go dark in that direction. But basically, they're so mad we destroyed their vision of oligarchy that they're trying to throw it on Trump as if it's coming. The good news is nobody listens to these people anymore except people like me, so we can make fun of it. And that's how it should be. But just a dark speech, no hope, just all about how bad things are getting, and it's like, dude, you were in charge for 4 years. When you do a speech like this, you're basically saying you didn't fix a damn thing. All this happened on your watch. Things are getting worse in your 4 years. The thing is, they don't even understand how tone deaf they are. So that was his farewell speech, and people are just going to roll their eyes over it, and Joe Biden is going to be looked at someday. People are going to look back in history. He's just going to be the blurb nobody remembers. He's going to be like whoever was president in 1823. You know, it's like you don't remember that stuff. You remember the big names. You know, I could probably, off the top of my head, I could probably do almost every president of the 20th century, this century, and probably 4 or 5 from the 1800s. You just become a blip in history. Well, this man is inconsequential. He tried to destroy our country, and instead he teed the ball up for Trump to come back with the best team I've ever seen assembled to get our country back. And in the meantime, he destroyed his own party so badly that I just don't see any way they could come back unless Trump completely screws things up, which I see no way that's going to happen. They're not going to have any pathway to victory in a long time. The truth is, if you watching these hearings, seeing J.D. Vance as VP, obviously Trump, just all these people, the Republican Party now is loaded with not just smart people, but talented people, charismatic people. And that's why it's so important that we won the culture back. We got in the fight, in the darkness of the last few years, since the Obama administration, the end of the Bush administration, through the Biden administration, Republicans been getting real Republicans, real conservatives, been getting our asses kicked for so long. We got better. And now it's all coming to a head where we're coming in with this loaded team. And they got nobody, folks. They got nobody. Can you name me one rising star on the Democratic side? Maybe Harry Thithone? No, they don't have anybody. Even their social media influencers are morons that nobody takes seriously. They have nobody. And that's if the difference between now and say 2004, 2008, with all the people that were kind of cool, even though I disagreed with them, were in the Democratic Party, it's the complete opposite now. And that's Biden's legacy, is he was the last gasp of a dying party. And He was the tip of the iceberg that almost tipped over. He tried to be the tipping point to usher in a completely different America and was rejected for it. And because of that, his legacy is going to be undone so quickly, and he's such a forgettable figure that the sadness of his legacy is going to be that he just is going to be forgotten. Nobody's going to care. And that, honestly, that's worse than being remembered. Obama, I mean, in the history, I mean, maybe it's better to be forgotten than remembered as evil, vile scum. Obama will be remembered as the Manchurian candidate, the brilliant guy who came in and tried to underhand our democracy with charisma and wit and a movement behind him. Hillary will be remembered for just being one of the most corrupt people to ever exist in American history, along with her husband, and obviously you got Epstein and everything as well connected with that. So they're going to be remembered. I think Biden's legacy is going to be, we're going to forget him real quick. And I don't know. I mean, Joe, congrats. What a legacy. What a legacy. Yeah, the new senator from was announced today, Moody, who's awesome. She's a Florida Attorney General. She was announced by DeSantis to fill the Florida seat, so that's really good as well for Rubio. But first, let's just talk about how poor Hunter Biden lost 200 of his artworks in California fires, his millions of dollars of art. So his daddy is going to the ash heap of history, and his son's $1 million paintings are going to the ash heap of California's fires. So that's just sad. Just sad. Don't you guys feel bad? Key and Peele had an Obama anger translator. That's hilarious. I don't think I ever saw that. Hobbs, I saw the clip. Yeah, Georgia Senator. That was crazy. What do I think of the federal housing guy being Bill Pulte? I don't know Pulte enough. I know he's a big philanthropist. I don't know enough. He seems good, but it's not that big a post. So it's not enough for me to get into the weeds on that one and see if there's a reason I wouldn't like it. So Biden thought he'd make a Truman military-industrial complex speech. Yeah, well, when you can't speak, that's a problem. What was it? The lives of my loves. I can't believe he said that. That's so funny. He has a legacy of an old toilet plunger, just something you really don't think about. Yeah, right. Until you realize it's rotten and you got to throw it away and replace it. Art insurance fraud. There you go, Alan. Exactly right. Brett says, housekeeping, please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Ace D, another Ace, says, we will never forget the worst president in history. Well, we might not forget. You know, I actually disagree that he's the worst, because to me, the worst means you're actually effective at destroying America. Biden was ineffective at that. If he had been effective, he would have been like Obama, where Obama had so many people believing the hype that he was able to win election once in a landslide, and his second election pretty handily, and get a following the whole time and still be remembered. I actually think Barack Obama is the worst president in our history, and it's because he's the most dangerous. Biden's the most ineffective and corrupt when you put the two together, whatever that word would be. That's what I'd call Biden. But honestly, Obama is truly the one. Obama's the one who really upped everything. He really took what would become a deep state and was growing, and the surveillance and everything, and he turned that and took his popularity and tried to make us full-on socialist. Obama was the one that got us the closest to losing our constitutional rights, especially and I think a lot of people forget, but Obama was the closest ever to getting the Second Amendment overturned. When Sandy Hook happened in 2012, Obama's push on gun control was the strongest push I think we've ever seen, and it was the closest, because so many people were on his side at that point. It was the closest that we've ever seen to a major disruption happening with that. And that would have changed everything. If he had succeeded there, we would not be here today. We would be under Kamala or Hillary right now, and we would not have free speech. We would not have our guns. We'd be Australia, basically, but worse. Because one of the reasons Australia isn't even as bad as it could be is because we exist. America, the USA, is the only reason that Europe, Australia, all these other countries that are socialist light, it's the only reason they haven't turned into complete commie shitholes. I'm just saying it like it is. Because as long as America exists, the hope of freedom exists. And it's very hard to get your people to fully submit in a westernized country fully. But if we'd fallen, everything else would have fallen much, much faster. And Obama was the closest to making that happen. And it would have happened, even though he failed, he succeeded so much, even though he failed in the gun part. He succeeded in so many other ways at destroying our country, that if Hillary had won in 2016, we truly would have lost. We would have lost America. And it is the grace of God that got Trump in that election that saved us. That election saved our country. And then Biden was just kind of flailing around, just trying to get back on track with what they were doing with Obama and Hillary. But he was so feckless and ineffective and stupid and gone that he just didn't have it. And they had no talent bench. That was also Obama's great flaw, is Obama is a complete and utter narcissist who's selfish and only thinks about himself. Because of that, Obama, when he had the Democratic Party at its strongest it's been in the last, God, I don't know, since FDR, he chose not to teach others and raise up others in the party to replace him. He left no bench. And so they were left with Hillary, who was their other ace in the hole, and she failed. And then after that, it was like, well, throw Biden up there. You see all these other morons, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, Kamala. I mean, they're morons. They're absolute morons. They have no talent. They have no, well, AOC's got a little charisma, but she's not smart enough to ever become president. And even the governors. I'm not scared of Newsom. Newsom's so corrupt. He went full ham during, he got overconfident in California. Now he's ruined his chances going forward. He's way too liberal. They're in a terrible place. And they know it. They know it. And they're freaking out about it because they don't know what to do next. So what they're doing, and you can hear it in these hearings, they're just going back to what worked 10 years ago. And it's not working anymore because they don't have talent like Obama to convince people that, hey, I love you. Yeah. Talking all nice to people while stabbing them. And, so in my opinion, Obama is truly the worst president of our history. So thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. What's up, Big JR? Mark says 75 likes. We can get more likes than that. Guys, please take 1 second, hit that like, and if you're new, hit that subscribe. Guys, have you noticed in the chat, I've been setting it to subscribers only can post in the chat, and I feel like it's really cleaning up the chat. We're not getting any trolls lately. I love that. Pulte, the GameStop guy, supporter of Ryan Cohen. Yeah, I think he's fine. Tokram says 100% on Obama. His USS code name was picked by himself. Renegade. That's right. Yep. Just Mike says fundamentally transform America. He told us what he was playing. That's right. Yeah. Donna, you're right. Sandy Hook. Yep. I've heard that too. Middle name like Hussein, what could go wrong? Yeah, right after 9/11 too. Well, yeah, Bush and Cheney kicked things off with the surveillance state. That is absolutely right. And don't get me wrong, Clinton did stuff, Bush 1 did stuff. I mean, you could track the whole thing back much further than Obama. But Obama was the one who came in and really started the transformation. It had only been here and there before him. But he's the one who accelerated everything. But it all blew up in their face now. So, Monterey, California, fire and explosion. Oh, wow. I hadn't heard anything about Monterey. When Obama was talking about hope and change, I didn't think that meant I'd be hoping for change because I was so broke. Right, Donkey? Alan says their bench is The Rock, Oprah, Governor of New York and Michigan, Pennsylvania. So, Alan, to that point, The Rock is never going to run on the Democratic side. He cares way too much about his fame. He's already backtracked in some of the latest interviews with him. He's already backtracked some of his Democratic support. He's much more playing middle of the road now. So The Rock is out. I think he's only wants to be rich, and now that Trump won, he's not. I don't think he wants any part of it. Oprah will never have a chance. There's too much on her. She's too tied up with stuff. Most of the nation hates her at this point. Yeah, Governor of New York is a total joke. Hochul, she has no chance. She's hated in her own state. Michigan, they might run her at some point. She's attractive, but I don't think she's talented enough to run on a national level. The only one that I agree with you is Shapiro in Pennsylvania. But even he has got some stuff. Now, he wants to run in a couple years. It's one of the reasons why he didn't want to be VP to Kamala. So I think he'll give it a shot in 2028. And he's more of a moderate Democrat. But listen, again, that's not the same thing as like this hardcore. I don't think he's as in on that inner circle of like the hardcore socialist type Democrats trying to change. I think he's more of like a Fetterman type. But he is the one person, I think. But I still don't think he has any chance against J.D. Vance or even DeSantis in 2028. Randy, Thomas Sowell agrees with me. Obama's the worst. Yeah, and that's a good man to agree with. AOC makes a mean daiquiri. Brett says, I think Jazz Hands Newsom is finally done. He's free to conquer the world with a new brand of hair gel, Gelsum. Made from Fractal Avenue. I love it. Yeah, Cindy Lou, I completely agree with everything you're saying about Bush there. All right. Just PSA, public service announcement. Lloyd Austin is warning that the Ukraine flag in the Secretary of Defense office will be removed if Pete Hegseth is confirmed. So, sorry, Lloyd. Take that flag and burn it. I'm sorry. That's just crazy. Can you believe this man? Yes, you can believe it. We know how crazy these people are. But still, can you believe there's the audacity of our Secretary of Defense in America has a flag of another sovereign nation in his office? These people are so insane, are so egregiously in our face insane. It sickens me. It's so gross. Okay. This is awesome. This is awesome. So, well, let's listen to this real quick. Trump.
Well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time, long before I even ran. I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. That's for the free world. I'm talking about protecting the free world. You don't even need binoculars. You look outside, you have China ships all over the place. You have Russian ships all over the place. We're not letting that happen. We're not letting it happen. And if Denmark wants to get to a conclusion, but nobody knows if they even have any right, title, or interest. The people are going to probably vote for independence or to come into the United States. But if
so, Trump, I mean, this is a little older clip, but it's just to say it's working. So Denmark has been coming out and saying it's entirely up to the people of Greenland if they want to join the United States. That tells us that we already won. We already won. Because now, I saw a poll the other day that was like 62% of Greenlanders would rather join the U.S. So if this is true, we're going to get Greenland. And I think I predicted a couple weeks ago that I thought by the end of Trump's term we would have Greenland. I think it's actually going to happen. And so Trump, man, just showing us how it's done. Get that big ask out there, and it works out. Big JR says, warning, Lloyd, we don't give a fork. Exit your bubble in the office. Oh my God. Getting rid of Lloyd is going to be one of the best things to have. Michael Tucker says it's going to take a true moderate Democrat candidate to have a chance. Yeah, and you know what they're already talking about for 2028 is, I mean, I don't think this will happen. I don't think there's going to be momentum on it. But there's several Democrats already talking about gearing Hillary back up. And I hope they do, because that just ensures they did not learn anything from this election. This election was the biggest repudiation to the current Democrat Party that has existed in modern times, because they had everything, and they should have had everything going for them if they were right. But they were so wrong that we did something that I honestly didn't know if it would ever happen in my lifetime. I always knew that, you know, conservatives could run the White House, we could pass laws, but culture had gone so far left that I didn't know if we'd ever win culture. I thought maybe we might just get back to like a 1990s kind of place where we're more of a conservative country as how we want the government run, but we're still more socially liberal. But there's like a balance. I thought that was kind of best case scenario, but no, we obliterated the culture so bad now that it's actually conservatives became the cool counterculture, but now we're the cool counterculture in charge. That, my friends, changes everything going forward. And that's why I truly believe we could be heading into an American golden age, because not only do we have the smart people in power to make policy and run the government, we now have the culture, because their culture failed so abysmally. Their culture of just anti-family, anti-traditions, and just everything gross. I don't even want to go into all of it, but just so gross, so mentally ill that they just went too far. And instead of winning, which has happened in other civilizations that fell, if you look at ancient Rome, ancient Greece, I mean, God, look at the cultures in Europe right now and how poorly they're doing. But in America, we rebuffed it and we said no. And now masculinity is coming back, femininity is coming back. This upcoming generation, value-wise, is the most conservative at their age that they've been in a long time. Trump won the most young voters of any Republican in 40, 50 years, maybe longer. So that's where you know our culture's turning. Just Mike, that's terrible. I don't even want to read that comment. Obama's not going to run. Nope. Michelle Obama hates politics. She never wants to do it. She doesn't want to be exposed. She's lazy. She doesn't want to do it. If her time was now, she missed her window. She would have been, and I mean this, she would have been the one threat to Trump that would have worried me a little bit, is if Michelle Obama had come out of the shadows and declared her presidency, because the Obamas still had a mythos about them, which I don't understand, but it still exists with some people in the middle of this country. And if she had run, I still think Trump would have won, but it wouldn't have been as significant, which means maybe they would have kept the House or something like that. But she missed her window. And it's over now, because this administration coming in, Trump's popularity, and with what I think the changes that are going to come in America over the next 4 years are going to be so popular that there's no way in hell a liberal has a chance, and it's going to finally rip that final last mask, that last sheen off the Obamas once and for all. And that's going to be very exciting. Plus, we don't even know what could happen with the Justice Department and all these people the next 4 years as well. Hillary, bring her on. Just Mike says, saw the PM of Greenland Fox earlier this evening, not opposed to negotiations with the U.S. So there it is. Yeah. Brett, Hillary, you really think they'd run the Wicked Witch of the East? She's got more broomsticks in the closet than they have Sentuco knives been on. I mean, I don't think they'll actually run her. I think over the next 4 years, they'll at least get enough common sense to figure that out. But you just never know. Michael says, if we get J.D. Vance for 8 years, Hillary and Bill will be dead by then. That's very true. Well, Bill might be dead tomorrow. Do you see him? He looks terrible. Doesn't want to be exposed. Todd Earhart, I mean Mike Obama. Yeah, that works too. Most likely true. Brett says, housekeeping. Please like and subscribe. Thanks in advance, and I do appreciate that, guys. I really do. Hit those likes. Get the algorithm moving on these videos, and subscribe so you can get your notifications, and join. Why not join? $3 a month. Come on, you guys can afford that. It's that's like half a Starbucks coffee, even their terrible Pike's Place. So this is better. Are the Obamas heading to a divorce? I doubt it. These political couples, they're power couples. They never divorce. Look at Bill and Hillary. They don't divorce. They stay together for power reasons, even if they're separated. So that's just how it works. Policy and SPF 2028. All right, guys. I'm gonna start closing out tonight. And listen, I have a lot going on this weekend. Obviously, I got a lot of preparation for my big inauguration run, which is gonna be awesome. So, but you'll probably see me Sunday night because I'm gonna be in Washington, D.C. in a hotel. What else do I got to do but come and talk to you kids? But so you'll probably see me then. But tomorrow I'll definitely be taking off, and probably Alan Tipper divorced? I don't even remember that. I don't remember that at all. But just ride his bicycle back to Chicago. Oh my God. Biden didn't have his wedding ring on? Well, maybe it's because it was one of his clones. Who knows? Anyways. But guys, good things are coming. 3 days. 3 more days. Trump is on Monday. It's the weekend. It's going to be exciting. Oh, real quick, before I finish. So let's talk real quick just on DJT and what we're seeing. Because some of you came to me for stocks in the beginning. And so we got at least a couple we're still hanging on to. DJT had an awesome day today for most of the day. In fact, at one point it was up almost $2. Still finished up on the day after they short attacked it. Listen, tomorrow is options expiration. So I believe they're shorting it down because there's a crap ton of people who bought options for DJT in this 40 range. So they're going to try to short it down tomorrow. We'll see if they succeed. I don't know. But they definitely tried today. At one point after hours, it was down almost 70 cents. But buckle up because I think there's no trading on Monday because it's MLK Jr. Day plus the inauguration. Tuesday could be very fun for DJT. I personally think it will be. Obviously not financial advice. It's just what I'm seeing, my speculation. But yeah, so that's it. That's what I wanted to share on that today. So anyways, keeping it simple. All right. So the next time I see you guys, I might be in Washington, D.C. Very exciting. So again, thank you guys for everything, putting it all together. You guys helping me out just in general with opening. It's because of this channel, because of this community that I have all these crazy, awesome opportunities. So I appreciate that, guys. I really do. Alan Tipper was separated since 2010, but are they divorced? So that's what I didn't know. But anyways, like and subscribe, and let's end in a prayer. So Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you, God, for this incredible opportunity with the inauguration. I just bless everybody in this community, and I thank you for them, Lord, and just what a wonderful community they are. So blessed to be a part of it. And Father, I just pray that this weekend goes fast, so we can get President Trump in and start this new era we're all so excited for. Thank you that we're even in this position. You truly saved America by waking up the people and allowing us to get change, And I just believe, I know the work's not done, so I pray that you would empower us with wisdom and strength to just get everything done we need to these next 4 years and even beyond that, and give a better country to our kids and grandkids than we had for most of it. So thank you for that, Lord. Bless everybody here again. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Love you guys. Hope it's not a burden for me to be going. Well, thank you. Just Mike with a $20 donation says, buy yourself a nice beer in DC. Well, Just Mike, now I'm going to have to. So thank you very much for that, Mike. Do they have any breweries up there? Liberal beers? It's like 93% liberal in DC. So, JR, we're almost there, man. BM Pros and safe travels. Thank you. Brett says, please tell me you didn't get a tux like they had in Dumb and Dumber. Well, I prefer the blue one. So, is that not okay? Brett, I'll do it just for you. I think Trump would appreciate it. Hey, that at least would grab the attention, right? So I might get one of those famous Trump one-liners if I wore something like that. That'd be awesome. But all right, guys, have a great night, and you'll be seeing me soon. Take care. Bye-bye.